Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're covering how to change your motorcycle front tyre. As always, I go through the tools first. So we've got a large lever bar, a mallet, 3 tyre levers, a valve extractor, spare valves, a lube brush, wheel paste and a tyre warmer. They're the basics for changing a tyre. What I will say is make sure you've got your tyre off before you get all this stuff ready. First things first, what I've done is I put my tyre in a tyre warmer, and all I'm going to do, it doesn't need to be at full heat. What I'm trying to get is some heat into the actual tyre so that it becomes a bit more pliable, so it can move, make it a lot easier to get off, and you're not going to tear the tyre with it being warm. Where if it's a cold tyre, what will tend to happen is you could rip it, you could tear it. So just get some heat in the tyres. It'll be the same with the rear. Get some heat in. Now the tyres you're going to change, or the tyre you're going to put onto it, what I would recommend is you get them in tyre warmers as well. Get some heat in. If you haven't got tyre warmers, get them near a radiator in the house, or get them in the sun if it's a nice sunny day. Just get some heat in them tyres. It'll make the job so much easier. Some additional tools that you'll probably need. I've got a compressor, so I'll be using the compressor to actually pump the tyre back up. And I have got this, which is a proper tyre changer. That'll be in another video to come. I'm going to use the manual levers on this one, but I'm going to use this part, which is a bead breaker. Now, when I go racing, I don't take this one. I have got a portable one, but that'll be in another video if you want to catch that one. Right, so I haven't got it fully up to temperature, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it off. And then literally, I'm going to take this off to get to the actual tyre. Next step is I'm going to let all the air out. So I'll get to the valve, remove the valve, dust cap, put that to one side. Now, how this works, that has got to fit inside the hole in the valve. I did cut it down because when it was full length, I couldn't fit it in. Now, all I'm going to do is put it in there so it goes into the valve, make sure it seats, and then loosen it off. You can already hear the air coming out. That's the air come out, and if you look, that's the valve that fits inside. And all that does, that fits on to there, and it twists left and right, so you can put it into the right or the left. I've got a bag full of valves, so I always just throw them, put a new one in. You don't want that seal, that little red part, that's your seal. You don't want that to go, so you might as well just get rid. Now, once we've got that, we're then going to get the wheel, and we're going to break the bead. Now, I do have to break the bead on both sides. So let me get this set up so you can actually see it properly. Now, how it works is I lift this arm up, and then you've just got to watch your brake discs. You don't get your brake discs in the way. Now, on this one, there's a little up part here. That's where I'm trying to get the back of my wheel. So if I get the wheel on there, this arm then fits there. So that's where that triangle part is, down there, and that is where I'm trying to get the bead breaker into. So if I just get it to watch, and all I'll do, I'll hold the back of the wheel and I press down hard, and all I'm trying to do is, and I just push, lift it up, turn it around, put it on the edge again, get it right, push, And there's the beads broke. You heard when it went. And again, yeah. And then you can just push the rest of the bead down. Same on the other side. So get it set. Put it on. Push. Lift and turn. There's the bead broke. And I'll literally just push that down now. And that's how I break the bead on it. Right, so now I come to actually getting the actual tyre off. I will just take both sides off this. Now, these are my brake levers. I've used these for years. The more practice you get with these, the better. And all I'm going to do, so you can see the actual shape, that part goes under the tyre. So I'm going to push it in, and then push one in there. And then all you do, now you will get used to how far they go apart. You'll push one down and two down. Now what you'll notice is it's not gone because I've got it too far apart. So literally, if I just move it 1 inch closer to it, I should get that. Now at the same time, if you watch what I'm doing here, I'm pushing down, holding the tyre in so that it's at its thinnest part on the rim. So I'm pushing down with my stomach, and then I'm going to push, and then that one's a bit too far apart again. Get that in, push. Then, once I've got it there, I can take that one out, move it around, push it in. They both come loose. I've got them in. And literally, that's the first part of the tyre off. So that's the first one. Now, there is a way to use the levers, which I used to do, but someone showed me a trick. So you could get your levers in there, and you can get it off that way, which it does become hard because you've got to try and get them in underneath this tyre, through there, and lift the tyre at the same time, which you can see it does get quite hard. So I've got to lift this tyre, so lift it up, pull and pull. If you look inside, I have got it raised. It's not super hard. I will show you the cheap method in a minute. Literally just let one of them go again, put it in. Now this is the awkward part. You've then got to get another one in there, or this side. There we go, and push that up. That one's come loose. Try and get it in, probably that side. Push it up, and that's your tyre off. Right, so there you can see tyres come off the rim. While you've got your rim like this, as always, just give it a quick wipe. Get rid of any old crap, any stuck glue or soap. Just give it a good wipe, get it a good clean. If you don't do that, what can happen is you can end up with a small leak due to it not being seated correctly. So make sure you clean your rim. Right, so that was one method of taking the tyre off. Now the other cheating method is you need a mallet and a large lever bar. Now on this one, I'm going to have to move it onto the floor. So just make sure, in fact I'll move that down just to show you from this angle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the lever bar under the tyre and hook it so it's under the tyre, I'm going to push it through there. And all I'm going to do is push it and push down. Once you push down, so look, I'm just pushing down on top of it. Then all you do, with that mallet, push it, hit it on the side, and it comes straight off. It's just a cheating way of doing it. If your tyre's no good, then do it that way by all means. But I've never damaged a tyre doing it that way. It's just a cheating, quicker method. So what we've got now, we've got our tyre waiting to go on. This is our rim, all cleaned, all ready to go on. I'm going to have to do the next bit on the floor because it's so much easier. Before you do any of that, on your actual wheel, there is an arrow. That means that that is the direction of the actual wheel. So when you put this on, your wheel is going to go that way. So if I look at my bike, I'm going to be riding it from this way because it's the front wheel. The arrow is facing that way. So when I put my wheel actually on, or my tyre on, I want it to go that way. On the tyre itself, you do get direction arrows, which I've covered in another video. There's my direction arrow. So if I stand that up, there's the direction. So I've got my rim set. That wheel is going to fit on there. Now before I do that, I can just move my rim. God, that sounds so wrong. And all I'm going to do now is lube or put wheel paste on the tyre. This has been warmed up. And all it is, I've just got paste. You get a bit on a brush and you just go around the edge. You just get, now, what I will say is it comes and it's quite, it looks quite thick, but the quicker you move with it, it seems to loosen up and gets more lubricated. Now I've done that side. While I'm at it, I'll do the other side. Now don't forget your tyre should be warm, so it will aid with getting it on easier anyway. And it's just a soap and it just lubricates, saves you tearing your tyre. It doesn't matter how much you get on, you're going to wipe it off anyway. It doesn't do any detriment to you sliding and having a big crash because it's your rim of your tyre you're only putting it on, you're not putting it on the actual tyre. My tyre's ready and I am going to have to move onto the floor to do this. So I'll put my rim down. Now just before I do that, I'm making sure, yep, my arrow's on that side. So that's the front of my bike. So my tyre itself, I'm looking for the arrow direction tyres there. So that's going to go on like that. Right. To put it on, I'll try and get you the best view of this. Right. There's the valve. Now, the valve is the heaviest part. Now, if I look on my tyre, there isn't a red. Oh, there it is. You can just make out. Is that it? Yep. That I can just make out where the red dot used to be. So the red dot used to be there, which means that that's the highest part of the tyre. If it's a yellow dot, it means that's the lightest part of the tyre. The heaviest part of your wheel is where the valve is. So what I'm going to do is that red mark, which it has gone, it's very worn away, I'm going to put that in line with the valve. So when I put it on initially, I'm trying to get that lip over that part. So when I push it, it's just a bit awkward. I'm going to go onto that action. Put it aside. So line it up with the valve. and push. But now what I have to do is I have to put my knees on the edge, get my levers. I'm getting in one that side, one this side initially. So if I get it down, so I've got one lever in there, one lever in there. I'm going to push. So I'm pushing that one, pushing that one, but then put that one back over here. Now you will find it does move around a bit. So that's on. Sorry. Get it in, push it on. I'm just holding it, and that's the bottom layer on. So that's the bottom. Now if you start from the bottom end again, so if I start from here, and it's the same principle, you'll be able to get some of it on by hand. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push that lip into that groove. And that's as far as I can get that. Now back to my levers. I'm just going to push, and turn the wheel at the same time. Just makes it easier. Push. Now this is where it becomes a lot harder because it's getting tighter. Now if I keep that down, push that on, get that lever, put that in there, push that one. Now this one's spare, bring it up, get it in. And that is the tyre put back on using levers. Now your next part, stand your wheel up. Now let me just readjust. Stand your wheel up, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to seat the rim. Because you've levered it, you're just trying to even out the tyre. You can even sit on it, and it's just to get the tyre a bit seated. If you see there, it's got a bit of a divot. And all I'm going to do, sit to try and get it seated. Now to put a new valve back in. Literally, you've got to be a bit careful because they are quite delicate. And if I can get it right, there's just not a lot of space when you're doing your front. Rear's not so bad, but the front's a bit of a pain because you've got actual brake discs in the way. My valve's there. I'm going to get my tool, put it on. There we go. And tighten it up. Like I said, I did have to adapt it. Someone with little hands, you'll have no issue. But got to make sure that valve's in correctly. Don't forget, with it, it's righty tighty, lefty loosey. So I am going to the right, and just there is where it's loose, and that's tight. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a nip. I'm not over tightening it. Don't over tighten stuff, you don't have to. Just give it the smallest of nips. So that's my valve in. Now I'm going to the noisy bit where got my valve at the bottom, and now I'm going to pump it up. Now when you pump it up, I've already primed my air compressor, put my valve on. Over years you learn how to put these on. As you can see, I've gone through here because if I try to get it under here, it's harder. By coming through there, it just fits straight on. Now when I press it, I will do it, and what I'm listening for is it popping. I'm not going to touch the actual wheel. I'm just going to leave it resting up here, and as I press it, it might be noisy. No, it's not. And what I'm listening for is 2 pops. There's one. Oh, that's 2. But it's not on, so it's not seated. What I'll do, I've not got enough pressure in my... So, just give me a second. Just needed some more pressure in. Then what we'll do is, it's only put 30 bar in so far, but it's not seated, look. So I'll now press it again. Just adding the air in. There you go, that's the second one. Just make sure it's all seated. And all I'm looking at the rim, making sure that the tyre is fully seated. Normally when you get that second big pop, it's there. Now this is saying there's 40 psi in it, which way too much for racing, I can tell you that. But I'm going to leave it at that, and I can always change it accordingly later. Once I've done that, don't forget to put your valve back, your dust cap back on. Once you've got that far, then it's time to balance your wheels. I have done how to balance your wheel on another video. If you want to go and look at that, because that's the next part. Well, I hope that helped you changing your front tyre. I will be doing the rear tyre, that's in a different video. And I will be using other equipment, as in my tyre changer and my portable tyre changer as well. I'll be doing that one mainly on track. If you did enjoy this video, please subscribe, throw me a like. Catch you later.